Welcome to another edition of Rivals. Scott Mitchell, Jason Buck here. Rivals has arrived. Jason, I got to go back in your life when you played a game. I don't care if it was in high school, college, the pros, and there was a player that you just didn't like, and you were so happy when you beat them or something, I don't want to say something really bad happened to them, but you kind of felt good when you ended up beating that specific player. The LA Dodgers lost the World Series, and the Dodgers had a player on their team no one likes, and of course he got the last out in the World Series, and it just a lot of times, I don't know, makes the victory a little bit sweeter. So I have to tell you an experience I had growing up where it was in high school. We were playing baseball in high school, and our rival team, Spanish Fork High School, had this player on their team we just couldn't stand. And we play him in baseball every year, and every year we lost to them. And they had this one player we just didn't like, and I was a pitcher, and our catcher said, we're gonna throw the ball at this player and hit it. Well, our senior year, we're playing them, and mind you, we haven't won against them ever. And so the catcher calls timeout, and it's kind of late in the game, and he goes, look, if we're ever going to hit this guy, it's right now. But if you hit him, you're going to load up the bases, and we're ahead by 1 run, and it's just going to make it harder for us to win the game. And what would you what do you want to do? And I'm like, well, I want to hit him. And he goes, well, he says, I'm not going to tell you to hit him, but this is kind of the only opportunity. So I got on the mound and I got ready to throw the ball, in my stretch. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't hit him. Anyway, so I pitched to him normal. I don't hit him. We end up losing the game. However, later on in the high school baseball playoffs, we play them again in the semifinals, and we end up beating them, and we go on to win the state championship. A few years after I graduated, when I say a few, probably 8 or 9 years, this kid that I was supposed to hit and I didn't hit was killed in an automobile accident. Oh. So I was so happy that I actually didn't hit him in high school, although I wanted to in the worst way. Have you ever had anything like that, Jason, where it was just a little bit sweeter, or you had a player that, and it's okay if you hit him, or if you tried to hurt him, that's still okay. It doesn't make you a bad guy. Although I'm a good guy, it doesn't make you a bad guy.
I'll tell you, this will probably surprise you, Scott. But I literally hated quarterbacks. So each quarterback was my mortal enemy. And I'd do everything I could to hit them as hard as I freaking could.
And it's real, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
I mean, like it's a genuine disdain, almost to the point, Jason, where even your own teammate who's a quarterback, you don't necessarily like.
I was mean. I am guilty, and I feel a little embarrassed. I was mean to multiple quarterbacks that were my own teammates.
What?
A few. I got better over the years, but when I first got to college especially, I was kind of tough on the quarterbacks in the locker room.
So
but the defense, when I was around, the defense ruled the locker room. I'll say it that way. And you did not mess with us. So one time, yeah, I didn't cheap shot. I honestly never did, Scott. I didn't cheap shot, but dude, see, back in the day, I mean, you could use your helmet.
Right.
So I remember putting my helmet through rib cages and listening to guys just scream and have them carried off the field. I lived for that.
And you relished that, didn't you?
I relished it. Yeah. I did. So we're playing BYU JV, and I'm at Rick's. And at Rick's, man, they brought in great talent. I mean, Rick's honestly had more players in NFL camps at one time than BYU did. We put players in the Pac-10, Big Ten, all over the country. And we're like, we play BYU JV, and we're like, hey, they have our scholarship, right? So we went to play BYU JV. We were ticked. right? Because you're fighting for that D1 scholarship. And so we go play BYU JV down in Cougar Stadium, or now Lavelle Edwards Stadium. We're playing, and guess who the quarterback is? It's Sean Covey, and for the JV. Sean will tell you this story. We're friends. He lives a couple miles from me now, but so Sean's quarterback, man, and I do an interior rush. I beat the guard, whatever, and I come in on Sean Covey for the stereotypical form tackle, man. I put my face mask right into his sternum. I mean, right in the sternum. And I wrap and I suck him up in there where you just feel bones crunch. And I picked him up and I drove him down on his back and boom, and put all my weight on him and just boom. I mean, dude, it was just, and you just heard everything come out. I mean, everything that was in his lungs, everything in there just went. And I crawl up over him. I'm like, my face is on his face mask like that. And he's just like, he couldn't breathe. He's just like, his eyes are like this. And he's like that. And I'm like, oh man. They stop the game. They come out. They carry him off the field. I didn't think that dude was ever coming back on the field.
So, Jason, everything you've just described is now against the rules. You realize that, right?
Yes.
It's because of people like you, they've made football this soft, pansy sport. Thanks a lot, Jason.
They totally wussified it. I mean, I'm like, come on, man. They can take a few hits. They get all the protection in practice. Nobody touches them in practice. Every kid gloves. Everybody's nice to them. And then the game, they got to get lit up about 4 or 5 times really hard. That's it.
Doesn't happen anymore.
It does not happen at all. The game is built to throw points on the board. It's all on the offensive advantage. It's hard to play defense now. And, well, gosh, look at Matthews' sacks, in Green Bay. I mean, gosh, those were beautiful sacks that he was fined for.
Yeah, those weren't even against the rules. In my opinion, they weren't even against the rules.
No, they were head across to the side, shoulder impact, drive him down. I mean, I was like, man, those were beautiful within the rule sacks.
All right, so what we've learned today is that quarterbacks are nice, defensive linemen aren't, and Jason really doesn't like me. That's what we've learned today. All right.
But look how I've grown, Scott.
Yes, you have. You have grown.
You're now one of my dearest friends.
Some of those anger issues have subsided, and you're getting much, much better.
I've gotten much better. In my anger issues, I got much better control of them than in my youth.
Yes. We'll now let you out of your cage twice a day, and we'll let you out in public. So you're doing good, Jason.
When it's football time, dude, I got to admit it. I turn on a switch. I am not a very nice person to be around when I put my helmet on.
Yeah, I'm actually okay with that. I'm not nice either. I get it. Yeah. All right, Rivals has arrived. This session of Rivals is now over.
And I'm off to my corner like I'm in timeout. It's like Scott puts me in timeout.
I love it. All right, I'm not Jason Buck.
I'm not Scott Mitchell.
And we'll catch you soon. Hey, make sure to dial us in on all those fun things. Your phone and like us on Facebook,
Instagram.
Facebook.